My name is Susan. I'm a white, middle-aged woman. I have long dark hair which I have tied back. I'm wearing a dark green shirt and dark blue sweatpants. This is a standing self-massage sequence lasting around 10 minutes or so. Before we get started, just have a gentle shake of arms and legs and take a couple of deep breaths. So, to begin, stand with your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, toes pointing forward and keeping your knees soft. Engage your abs a little bit, but relax your glutes. Place your hands together, palms facing, at the level of your heart, fingers pointing forward, and rub your hands together vigorously, creating heat through friction. Place one hand on your belly and using the palm side of the knuckles of the other hand, rub the back side of the fingers and hand that's on your belly, waking up the skin and the back of the hands, increasing circulation. And swapping hands, rubbing the back of one hand with the front of the other. Rub the palms together again briefly, and then, making a cup with your hands, place them over your eyes, resting your fingertips on your forehead, keeping the hollow space made by the cupped hands in front of your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out, and relax your shoulders. Let your elbows drop downwards. Relax your jaw. Relax your neck and throat. Relax your glutes. Notice where your weight is in your feet. Is it forward? Is it back? And just bring it towards the center of your feet. Gently draw your abdomen in with an upward movement on the front of the body and a downward sensation at the back of the pelvis, dropping your tail towards the ground. Gently peel your hands off your face, leaving the wrists nice and floppy, and we begin to tap on the skull with the fingertips. This is quite a heavy tapping, using the full weight of your hands and floppy wrists. If it's painful, you can lighten the tapping, but ideally you'll keep it heavy, like a hailstorm inside your head. Now we massage the scalp, giving pressure to the skull, dragging the fingers from the forehead and temples up towards the crown of the head, dragging the skin up and away from the face, like a facelift, 2 or 3 times. Then, using your thumbs, give pressure to the back of the top of the neck, pressing into the hollows at the base of the skull. Relax your arms and hands for a moment and take a deep breath in and hold and out. Using your fingertips, alternating hands, brush your fingers very lightly across your forehead, 3 times each side. The touch is light like a butterfly, and you're brushing from the opposite side towards the side of the arm you're using, and you're alternating your hands. With your fingertips, now brush across the eyes and nose 3 times each way, alternating one hand then the other each time. And now with your fingertips, brush across the mouth and jaw, light as a feather, 3 times each way, once again, alternating hands each time. In the space between the cheekbone and the jawbone, using the base of the thumb, give some pressure and massage the muscles of the jaw, letting the jaw drop and the mouth open. With your index and middle finger in a Y shape, place them either side of your ears and rub vigorously up and down for about 10 seconds. And stop. Deep breath in and out. With your fingers in a firm claw shape, we're going to drag the muscles that run alongside the vertebrae in the neck. We're going to drag those muscles forward, reaching across to the opposite side and alternating sides. Drag the muscles at the back of the neck forward, 3 times each side. This is a very firm, strong drag of the skin. Then with the same claw hands, like a big bear claw, reaching across to the opposite trapezius muscle, the slope of the shoulders, landing heavily and dragging the muscle forward, 3 times each side, alternating hands each time. With your arms crossed over at the wrist, find your collarbones, your clavicles, and find the hollow just beneath the bone and rub vigorously, sliding the fingers backward and forwards in the same direction as the collarbones. Locate your sternum, the breastbone, and just to the left, at the level of your heart, tap on your chest with your fingertips about 20 times. With one hand we rub the outside of the arm all the way up to the back of the armpit and down the inside. Firm drag of the skin. Up the outside of the arm and down the inside. Up the outside and down the inside. Then with a nice floppy wrist, a stingy slap up the outside of the arm, down the inside. Up the outside, down the inside. Up the outside, down the inside. And we do the other arm. Dragging the skin all the way up of the back of the arm to the armpit, down the inside, up the outside, down the inside, up the outside, down the inside. Then with nice floppy wrists, a stingy slap up the outside of the arm and down the inside, up the outside, down the inside, up the outside, down the inside. Bend one arm and cradle the elbow or in the hand of your other arm. Let the weight of the arm drop through the elbow into the hand. Make a soft, loose fist like a hollow cylinder and use the round end of that cylinder to pound on the trapezius, the slope between the neck and the shoulder. And change arms. Cradle the weight of your arm, elbow in the other hand. Make a soft, loose, hollow fist and use the round end of the cylinder to pound on your trapezius muscle. Drop both arms down and take a deep breath in and out. Locating your ribs underneath the arms at the sides of the body, notice the spaces between the bones, and we do what was called combing the ribs. It doesn't have to be perfectly accurate. You're tracing around the ribs, giving gentle pressure with your fingertips, imagining that you're combing your ribs with your fingers. And reach across to the other side with the other hand to do it under the arm, along the sides of the torso, waking up the sides of the rib cage. With the same soft, hollow fists that we just used, locate the back of the rib, the back of the base of the rib cage, and we use both fists to pound on the back of the rib cage. Bend forward slightly from the waist, curving the upper body forward. Allow your face to relax and sag forward. And we repeat this time making a bit of a sound. Make an ah sound and allow the percussion of the fists on your back to make your voice wobble. In the space between the ribs and the pelvis, give your lower back a bit of a rub using your 4 fingers together in a paddle shape. Find the base of the sternum and tracing the line of the ribs down and outwards, using the breath, breathing out as you brush down with energy 3 times. Locate the bony corner of the front of the pelvis and brush down past the pubic bone 3 times with the breath. At the level of the top front bony corner of the pelvis, place one hand on front of the other and rub vigorously from side to side, the friction generating heat in the lower abdomen. Take your weight onto one leg, let the other leg rest lightly on the ground, and using your hands around the thigh of that leg that's free, mobilize the muscles of the thigh around the bone. You're trying to unglue the muscles and skin from the bone. Then, using a hard fist this time, dig your fist into the glutes at the back of the hip joint and massage with a swift circular motion. And change legs. Take your weight onto the other leg and with the free leg resting lightly on the ground, using your hands around the thigh, mobilize the thigh around the bone. You're trying to unglue the muscles and skin from the bone. Then with a hard, tight fist, dig your fist into the glutes at the back of the hip joint and massage with a swift circular motion. Now bring your feet together, feet, ankles and knees and legs together. Bend your knees and place the outside edge of your hands just under the kneecaps. Use friction, rubbing up and down the patella tendon several times. Then placing your hands over your kneecaps, circle the knees slowly. 4 times in one direction, 2, 3, 4. Change direction, 4 times in the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stand once again with your feet a bit wider than hip width apart, toes pointing forward, this time bending the knees slightly. With both hands, drag the skin all the way down from the hips to the ankles on the outside of the legs, and then up the inside. Down the outside, up the inside. Firm drag of the skin down the outside and up the inside. Then block the knees a little to keep them steady. With loose wrists, give strong and stingy slaps down the outside of the legs and up the inside. Down the outside, up the inside. Down the outside, up the inside. Bring the feet in a bit closer, and with the soft, loose, hollow fist, this time using the outer edge of the cylinder, pound on the top of one foot, and then with the other hand on top of the other foot. Stand comfortably for a moment and notice your feet on the ground. Take one last deep breath in and out. And we're done.